Just a pre-warning, guys. The wind in this video, I underestimated how bad my microphone was and how windy it was on top of the hills. So apologies. I was umming and ahhing whether to just delete it, but this is my first proper video. It's a learning curve. I'm still going to upload it for your viewing displeasure. But the audio does get a lot better towards the middle and the end of the video as the wind dies down. I've had a little fiddle with the audio. Not that successfully because I'm a bit of a technophobe, but going forward I think I've learned to get a proper microphone for stuff like this, and it's really clicked in my head to dig into the whole audio side of video editing. Going forward they'll get better. Thank you very much.
Morning everyone, Kenny from the Basic Radio. Decided to do something a little bit outside the box for this video. I'm out, it's -1 at the minute in lovely Wiltshire. Just on a bit of a morning run. I like to kind of come outside, go for a walk or go for a run, especially around this area of England. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. You get so much inspiration thinking about, for me anyway, I think about stories, stuff like that. Not necessarily when I'm hanging out. Just walking, catching my breath just a little bit. As you can tell by that view there, it's really inspiring. I thought I'd just take a 10-minute pause and work out my lungs for a minute to talk about my using basic fantasy. I've got 5 or 6 sessions in with a steady group. Half of the people are my childhood friends from the area where I grew. The other half are willing volunteers from disco groups or game groups. We've got 7 players. It's quite a big group for an online game. But it's going really well so far. Everyone seems to be having fun. We're 5 or 6 sessions in, but still level 1. It's been a bit of a step change for some of the people more used to 5th edition D&D. I think they're still enjoying it. It doesn't feel like a grind. I think the monsters award appropriate XP points, and it leaves me, the DM, to come up with supplemental rules for gaining XP. So I use a variant of the XP gold system where you have to find some magic user, and you have to exchange gold for their services. Could be learning new spells, all that sort of stuff. I'll probably maybe make another video another time with my house rules that I've bolted on. It's kind of an amalgamation between the Glane companion that Chris Donovan wrote, which is a very helpful tool on the download section of the BFRPG website, I believe. It's either the downloads or the show notes. And yeah, my own house rules that I've kind of adapted from that. I suppose the most notable rule that I've included is a death save. You get 1 death save basically, and I wouldn't worry too much about it breaking the game. It's a death save versus death rate, which means more experienced leveled player characters are more resistant to death, which I think makes those characters a bit more heroic as it goes off their improved saving throws. and it also means the squishier younger characters, it's a bit of a proving ground. Can they withstand a death blow and make a save versus death rate? If they don't make it, well, the FRPG can be pretty deadly. It's one of the things I love about the game. It's more that old school feel. I've heard it described as like a survival horror genre almost. That's what I like about all the LucasArts games, really. The majority humans who, and in certain times demi-humans who are willing to go out there and risk their lives for treasure. I think it has to be quite brutal, and I love the story notes that can come off that. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but there has been a character death in the party. Really looking forward to collating all my session notes and hopefully producing some 10 to 15 minute story recaps on the story so far. At least a little bit of a book on those doing. Commit to them. Hopefully videos filmed, like recorded, so I can put on at least a semi-regular schedule. I think it's really possible. I'm just going to swap hands there. So, I'm starting to ramble a bit about that, aren't I? Anyway, yeah, as well, if you can't tell, I'm from Northern England, so this monotone, drawling voice, I'm afraid everyone's stuck with. And if you can deal with that, then I'll be happy to have you along and we can learn about TTRPGs together. We can explore, in my view, I am biased, BFRPG more, as I think that's my favourite, and for me personally, from a subjective view, the best. I feel like the rules mix that's going on with the supplements that are all free on the website is not only the easiest and cheapest way to get into the game, but I think to a degree the friendliest as well. It's got a great community. It's got people who produce content for the site for free because of the love of the game. If you're a newcomer coming into the game, the core rules is a complete rule set. You don't need anything else. I use a lot of supplemental stuff because even though I want an old school basic game, I like to sprinkle in some options for my players. I like to sprinkle in out of the box NPCs, monsters, stuff like that, and BFRPG gives you the freedom to do that. This is turning into a bit of a ramble video, but I'm not too bothered actually because it's really nice being out here. What else? I've found it really easy to BFRPG as well. So what do I mean by that? I don't want to say lazy, but I take a lot of inspiration from Sly Flourish, the lazy DM, and his methods for prep and stuff like that I find really helpful. I've got 2 kids, I've got a wife, I've got a full-time job that takes me away from my family a lot, sometimes not most of the time. So I find it hard to prioritise a game, because it is a game, over my family life, my health, my wife, like all my important relationships. That's not to say that I don't find the game important. The game is my release as well. My little get out of jail free card so I can escape reality for at least a little while, play with friends, have some good times, and even outside of the game, doing a bit of world building really helps clear my head. But yeah, like I said, you can have other things going on in your life, and maybe the game takes a back seat sometimes. Where am I going with this point? Right, as I said at the start of this, a little bit of a waffle. I am not lazy in the sense that I'm a lazy person, but I am a lazy DM. So, converting games to BF I convert everything. I've got PDFs for adventures from other game systems. I've got traditional D&D products from Wizards of the Coast. I steal consistently. By consistently, I mean pretty much all the time from those adventures, and I help take inspiration from what I steal and I bring that into my world. So for example, the game that we're playing in at the minute, I've got ideas of a world that I'm building in my head, but because we're using the BF1 Morgan's Fort adventure campaign setting, I've just plonked that right into my world with little to no customization really. I've added some adventure sites, I've added some little towns, notably I got inspiration from something Chris Goneman wrote where I've added Brimerson into my campaign of the Western Lands. There I go again, stealing someone else's idea, but hey, he created the game and it worked for him, so why would it not work for me? And I just keep on doing stuff like that. I find there's so many good adventures out there. You'll probably discover this about me over the coming videos, but I've got real soft spot for 4th edition D&D. It's the edition I cut my teeth DMing with. I'd played 2nd edition Advanced D&D in the past, played the Baldur's Gate games, stuff like that, and I took a long hiatus from TTRPGs because I became an adult, and you discover things like lager, bitter, cider, ale, stout. So I took a bit of a break from TTRPGs, but I'm wholly back in it now. I've been DMing consistently, I'd say, for the past couple of years, with short breaks in between due to work and stuff. Not being a player in a long time, which should be interesting. One of the guys in my group, he's saying he's got a couple of ideas for one-shots. He just needs to learn the BFRPG system a bit more through our campaign, which is good. So that might give me a little bit of a break, get by. I really want to play a magic user based off Big Hat Logan from Dark Souls. So yeah, that should be something I'll be able to cut my teeth on. But I mean, my legs are getting cold now, my hands are getting cold. I came in this video with an idea of what I wanted to talk about, just a bit of an overview. Originally it was going to be talking about how important health is as well. And I know that's a bit weird for a D&D channel, isn't it? It's a little bit mad. But doing stuff like this, getting out into quote unquote the wilderness, it's not the wilderness, I'm in Wiltshire. There's the A303 is a couple of miles that way. But getting out into the countryside, wherever you live, if you live in a big city, getting into a park, going for a run, just getting out and seeing wildlife, it will inspire you to get back in front of a computer, in front of your notebook, and start creating things, creating fun games for you and your players. And if you're a player, it will give you ideas about the characters that you want to create, the stories that you want to tell, the places that you want to go. And I find that pretty important, really. I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I can speak to you guys out here in this very shaky video on my 6-year-old phone as I just waffle on, as I tend to do. But yeah, I find it really important. The other slightly related note as well that I wanted to film me while I'm out on my morning run / walk is I quit smoking about 10 days ago. I've not had a cigarette since. It's frigging hard. It is hard, let me tell you. I've tried to quit in the past. I think my best effort was about 8 months. That was interesting because I missed it the whole 8 months, so this is a bit daunting. But I think what I'm challenging myself to do is not get caught up in the New Year's resolution thing. By that, what do I mean? I don't want to quit smoking for New Year's and have it just be another resolution that falls by the wayside. I don't want to start a YouTube channel for a New Year's resolution, have that fall by the wayside. I don't want to start a new campaign. Do you get where I'm going with this? I just want to do these things. I just want to start it. I want to compartmentalise my life and just go for these things. I feel like I've sat on my hands for a bit too long with the smoking. I've been smoking, whoever's watching this, if there's any youngsters watching this, I started smoking when I was 14. I have a very active job. I'm required to stay at least semi-fit for my job. I'm not an athlete. Never claimed to be an athlete, but I have to be. I have to meet physical standards for the work I do. So, smoking hasn't destroyed my health. It has held me back massively. So if there are any younger people watching who smoke, quit now. It takes years off your life, and we're talking end of life here, but more importantly, it limits your potential. I'd say compared to the average person, I'm not being, what's the word? I'm not trying to be arrogant or anything. I genuinely think compared to the average British person, American person, Western person, I'm probably fitter than the average person. But I could be so much fitter. Like, I really enjoy running. I can't be a long distance athlete, not with the damage it's done to my lungs. I mean, I can keep up. I can put a good showing in on a 5 kilometre park run. I've run half marathons before, but I'm never gonna. I'm 32 now. I'm never gonna start competing in these things. Or maybe I will. I don't know. You can turn anything around. Oh God, I'm shit at this, aren't I? I just keep waffling on. Anyway, yeah, quit smoking if you can do it. I implore everyone to do it. Use a stop smoking aid. That's what I'm doing. Part of it is physical. If I feel like having a smoke, I drop down, do 10 press-ups. Part of it is actual help that I'm using. The nicotine pouches, without naming brands or anything, but you know, the kind of, I think it's called snus or something. They're from Scandinavia, and Sweden's got one of the lowest cancer-related deaths to smoking in the whole of Europe. So that's, I mean, you don't want to be gullible and believe everything, but I mean, that's a pretty damning statistic against the rest of Europe, where we're all chonging away all the time. So yeah, I'm using those snus things at the minute. It's going really well. I want to keep that going, but I also, because I'm getting pretty cold now, because I've been waffling on for nearly 20 minutes, I'm going to head off. Probably I'm doing a kind of getting my fitness back up over Christmas kind of challenge thing at the minute. I'm on a slow run day today, so I'm just keeping it at like 10-minute mile paces. Easing myself. It's so cold as well. It's -1 in Wiltshire at the minute, so I'm going to just warm my legs back up, and maybe I will log on a little bit. Log on? What the hell is that? Maybe I'll film a little Not a prelude, that comes at the beginning, isn't it? Oh God. This is bad. And I did quite well at English in school. And I am English, so I should know this stuff better. Maybe I might film the end of the video later, after I've gone for a bit of a jog. Right, I'll see you in a bit. Right, so, as promised, back for a little outro, should we say. Just under 6 miles done in just over an hour and 2 minutes. I'm going to use this little walk back to my house, which is about half a mile, as a cool down. Get the blood flushed back into my calves and that. Get the lactic acid out. I went a little bit faster on some parts than the 10-minute mile pace because I'm shit at pacing myself. Don't know why. I always just get carried away and then have to make up for it a little bit, but that was good. It's my first run really in about 2 weeks that was any considerable distance. I've done a couple of 1 mile, 2 miles, but they don't really count for any sort of like long-standing aerobic benefits. They're more just good to get the joints moving, stuff like that. Those short little distance ones. And I lied to you guys because I'm an idiot. I'm not 32, I'm 34, but my marbles are going. So yeah, I'm 34. I'll be 35 next May. Ooh. So, I mean, I'm not saying I'm old by any stretch of the imagination, but I am not young anymore. It takes a bit of time for me to recover. Sometimes, like, I'm not in my 20s. I can't go out boozing and then go on a 10-mile run the next morning like I used to in my 20s. But you cut out a little bit of the bad stuff and you can enjoy your health a bit more, I suppose. Just have a step over a dog poo. Yeah, I'm just coming up onto the estate now, so as a little outro, I hope you all enjoyed this. If you want to see more ramblings like this, please like, comment, subscribe. If you didn't like it, still subscribe, because I'm just starting out, trying to get better. Drop a comment, say, Kenny, you're shit. But don't just tell me I'm shit, tell me how I can improve. And then I get a bit of honest feedback then from people who've been doing it a lot longer than me. Every video won't be like this. This is just me wanting to say hello to everyone really properly. I've only got 2 shorts up on my channel at the minute, and for me this is a hobby. I'm not looking to monetize. That'd be nice maybe in the future, but the TTRPG scene is something that I enjoy, that I'm passionate about, and the best way to start a conversation is to start it yourself. I didn't want to be an active bystander in the community anymore. I wanted to start creating stuff, so that's why I'm doing it. Right, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.